Fun.
It is. Howdy, Asa. It is Tuesday. I'm sure you missed seeing me in this room. Classes end in 5 minutes, so in all the likelihood, by the time I'm finishing this up, my roommate will be walking back in, but today I get to go play tennis. That's not really important or anything. I don't even know if I have anyone to play with, but it's just fun. I'm going to talk about when people interrupt you, so you don't get to finish your story and actually explain why you said what you said, and people think you're a jerk for it. This has happened multiple times in my English class now, but today was really bad. We're talking about monstrous, which is a weird thing. It's pretty interesting, but you have to be there to really get it all. And so the teacher was like, hey, sometimes when you're in love, monstrous things happen. And apparently she was thinking monstrous like thinking about someone else or caring about someone else. It was weird. Because monstrous is supposed to be like the unknown, and that's why it's monstrous, because it's different. We're not used to it in that way. But I thought, hey, I once like shoulder checked a guy on the sidewalk because of love, so that's pretty monstrous. So she specifically asked me. She looked at me and was like, yeah, what's monstrous? And I was like, my exact words were, I once hit a guy. That's all. Like, that could be bad. That could not be bad. You could probably hear it out. Instead, everyone started laughing. And like an uproar ensued, and they wouldn't let me finish. So this is my finishing. I'm gonna finish it right here because that annoyed me so much. Coffee bean. What had happened was we were walking down a sidewalk. So right side, me and Emma here, and then the other direction there were three guys coming the other way. And now what you do when this happens is you either like single file behind each other and walk past, or everyone just kind of scrunches up because we were all kind of far apart. So me and Emma do that, and these guys don't. And we're on a collision course. And the reason I think this love made me monstrous is because if I was by myself, I would have just gotten off and walked on the grass around because I don't want to start anything and I don't really care. But I'm not going to push Emma off into the grass. And I did my part here in scrunching up. I was trying to make us fit, and they weren't. So instead of pushing Emma into the grass, as the other guy walked past, I kind of hit him with my shoulder. I mean, I didn't like, but you know, you're walking, and so that's when I hit a guy, and then he kind of yelled as we kept walking, and then did nothing else. So I wanted to explain that, because my English class wouldn't let me, and they just thought, Levi hit a guy. And it's like, I kind of just, I don't know if you have stories like that. I got plenty of them. I see it happen to other people. And to be fair, when it happens to other people, I jump on the bandwagon making fun of them. So I guess I can't really expect the world to just be like, oh, we'll hear you out. But they're frustrating when you're in situ and you're like, that's not what I meant. That isn't what happened. That you're jumping to conclusions, and because you're jumping to conclusions, you're reacting as if those conclusions were true, and now I don't have a chance to say those conclusions are wrong. Yeah. I'm sure you know. I'm sure everyone knows. Alright, I'm going to recommend a book to you that has an interlibrary loan strip on it. It says do not remove. I just removed it. If you ever read the newspaper, you should have seen this guy's face. There we go. He's a really good op-ed writer, columnist, whatever you want to call it. He's a syndicated columnist. If you know what those words mean, then you're smart. Anyway, it's it's just a collection of his best op-ed pieces. And they're really interesting and they're really thought-provoking. So he's a Black Catholic dad, and it's just such an interesting view on things, both beautifully liberal and beautifully religious in a way I really enjoy. Reading the comics in the newspaper, especially on weekends he tends to do stuff. Flip over to the editorial section. If you see that face without the sunglasses, or just Leonard Pitts Jr., you should read them. They're really good. Alternatively, you can find this book, which I asked my college to do for me, and it went all the way to Kansas. So maybe I should just buy a copy and we can have it as a family. Oh, also, I'm putting a picture up right now. Yeah, I really needed that intro, didn't I? Anyways, I don't really blame you. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Where the edit ends up making it worse. But what, you didn't know? You didn't know the teacher? I could have made that mistake. Anyway, I'm going to stop whispering now. Asa, I will see you on Wednesday.